This is Punk Rock and Politics, and today is May 1st, 2018, and this is episode number 61. Let's do this!
These days are strange, it's true.
I would bomb the shit out of them.
If you think that punk rock doesn't mix with politics, you're wrong.
Welcome to Punk Rock and Politics, and today is an all-star episode where we'll be talking with band members from 390, Whining Pussys, CC Potato, and Generic Response about punk rock, President Trump, and of course, the May 4th punk show at the Doll Hut in Anaheim, California.
The Doll Hut is the center of the Orange County music scene, in my opinion. If you go to the Doll Hut, this show especially, a lot of friendly people take you under their wing. Everybody's really supportive of each other's music. Best music, local music right now, Southern California is going to be playing at the show.
All that and more on today's episode. So let's get to the political mosh pit. But first, here's the news of the week.
Here's what's making news.
Peace on the Korean Peninsula has been achieved as North Korea's Kim Jong-un and President Moon from South Korea held a summit and ended the 65-year-long war. Well, let's give peace a chance, huh? An evangelical neocon Mike Pompeo becomes Trump's new Secretary of State with 7 Democratic senators voting in favor of Pompeo. Dr. Candyman Ronnie Jackson was nominated as VA Secretary by President Trump, but declined the nomination after allegations that he would hand out prescription pills like candy. Now, President Trump will have to pull another name out of the hat for the nomination. EPA Chief Scott Pruitt faces 10 ethics investigations citing Pruitt's misuse of government funds, including a soundproof phone booth costing $43,000. Here's some of the highlights of Pruitt being questioned by House members regarding the misuse of funds.
Let me be very clear. I have nothing to hide as it relates to how I've run the agency for the past 16 months. I'm not afraid to admit that there's been a learning process, and when Congress or independent bodies of oversight find fault in our decision-making, I want to correct that and ensure that it does not happen again. Ultimately, as the administrator of the EPA, the responsibility for identifying and making changes necessary rests with me and no one else. With that being said, facts are facts and fiction is fiction. And a lie doesn't become truth just because it appears on the front page of the newspaper.
I'm confident that these investigations will affirm what I've come to believe is true, that you are unfit to hold public office and undeserving of the public trust. And I don't say those words, because I particularly dislike you or hold you in ill repute. I just think that every indication we have is that you really should resign, and you are undeserving of the public trust. It has been reported that at least 5 EPA employees were recently reassigned, demoted, or otherwise retaliated against after they raised concerns about your spending. Is that correct, yes or no?
I don't ever recall a conversation to that end.
I'll take that as a yes.
Comedian Michelle Wolf makes a splash at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and for the second year in a row, President Trump did not attend the event. Here's some highlights from Michelle Wolf's stand-up act.
And just a reminder to everyone, I'm here to make jokes. I have no agenda. I'm not trying to get anything accomplished. So everyone that's here from Congress, you should feel right at home. It is kind of crazy that the Trump campaign was in contact with Russia when the Hillary campaign wasn't even in contact with Michigan. We've got our friends at CNN here. Welcome, guys. It's great to have you. You guys love breaking news, and you did it. You broke it. There's a lot of print media here. There's a ton of you guys, but I'm not going to go after print media tonight because it's illegal to attack an endangered species. There's a ton of news right now. A lot is going on, and we have all these 24-hour news networks, and we could be covering everything. But instead, we're covering like 3 topics. Every hour, it's Trump, Russia, Hillary, and a panel of 4 people that remind you why you don't go home for Thanksgiving. You guys are obsessed with Trump. Did you used to date him? Because you pretend like you hate him, but I think you love him. I think what no one in this room wants to admit is that Trump has helped all of you. He couldn't sell steaks or vodka or water or college or ties or Eric. But he has helped you. He's helped you sell your papers and your books and your TV. You helped create this monster, and now you're profiting off of him. And if you're gonna profit off of Trump, you should at least give him some money because he doesn't have any. Good night. Clint still doesn't have clean water.
And on this day in rock history, May 1st, 1977, the White Riot Tour started at the Roxy in London with such bands as The Clash, The Jam, and The Buzzcocks. I mean, what a great lineup is that? Happy May Day, everyone. May the workers of the world unite. And that's the news of the week. What is up, my fellow political junkies? And on today we have an all-star lineup. It will be a first for the Punk Rock and Politics podcast, since we'll have 4 band members from 4 separate bands joining us in the political mosh pit. From 390, Whining Pussys, CC Potato, and Generic Response. So, what do these 4 bands have in common other than the fact that they are all amazing, badass bands? Well, they will be playing at the Punk and Politics show at the Doll Hut on May 4th in Anaheim, California. This show is in part brought to you by the Punk Rock and Politics podcast, as well as Working Class Punk Promotions. And we have been busting our ass for the past couple months to assemble an amazing lineup of 7 bands to melt your faces. We'll also be giving away some awesome band merch through a raffle at the show. And not just that, I'll also be doing some live recording for the podcast at the show. So if you're in the LA area on May 4th, you definitely don't want to miss this show. And I do have to apologize, the audio isn't the best for this episode because hooking up 5 separate Skype accounts apparently creates a little bit of feedback and lag, but the content in the interview is definitely well worth it. But before we get to the interview, let's check out a song from one of the bands that will be playing at the May 4th show. Here's Jimmy Sun by Suspects.
I've been drawing a long conclusion, and I always
And that was Jimmy's Son by Suspects. And today on Punk Rock and Politics Podcast, we have a all-star lineup. This is a first for Punk Rock and Politics here. I have 4 band members all joining us. So this is going to be quite an episode. I'm really excited. So before we get into it, can I have everyone introduce themselves and what band they are from?
I'm Brian from Generic Response.
I'm Jacob L, drummer for CC Potato.
I'm Clark McStone from the Whining Pussys.
Ron from 390.
Awesome. Ronnie X from 390, as I like to say, huh?
Oh. You're at it. I forgot the X.
Yeah, you forgot your own nickname, man. So why the hell?
I know.
Hey, Ronnie. So Ronnie is kind of going to be my co-host for this episode. He's going to help me out because really, Ronnie, he's been freaking awesome with getting all you bands together and helping me put together the show, which I'm super excited about. We're doing a show on May 4th at the Doll Hut in Anaheim, which is going to be pretty freaking awesome, huh?
Absolutely.
Cool. So we got a bunch of stuff going on. We're going to have raffles. We're going to be basically raffling away people's, all the band's gear. Not gear. We're going to be raffling.
No one can have
We're giving away guitars, right? No, all CDs, t-shirts, stickers, all that good stuff. We're going to be giving away raffles, and we're going to have a fucking awesome show. We're going to do live recordings for the podcast on the spot. So it's really going to be a pretty epic show, not just a normal punk rock show. This is going to be like an extravaganza. So kind of to get into the groove and everything, let's start it off, guys. So let's go through it. What does punk rock mean to you? This is kind of, I get this is how I originally met Ron, actually. He asked me this, and I was like, is this a trick question or what? But I'd like to know, you guys, what does punk rock mean to you?
Punk rock means it's just music. I mean, it's all forms. It's just expression. For me, it's just it's music.
To me, it is just raw, uninhibited energy, and it's a place where anybody can speak their mind and say it how they want to.
To me, it's freedom. There's not a particular sound to punk rock. There's not a particular look. It could be anything. So it's freedom.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go along with Steve there. Punk rock is all about freedom and challenging authority, which I think the two go hand in hand.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that pretty much summarizes it. It's a musical genre. It's freedom. It's, expression. It's an art form. And that's fucking awesome. And everyone here, you guys are all pushing the punk rock, and that's what we're doing. So let's get to one more song before we get into some more questions. So here's another band that's going to be playing at the May 4th show. Here's My Friend is a Piece of Shit by CC Potato.
My best friend's a piece of shit. Don't know fucking idiot. I don't know why I always end up hanging out with him. He's a great fucking prick. Mix of pride and ignorance, but he's always there to save me from getting my ass kicked. One night he asked me to punch him in the face, so he had a reason to call it down. Work the next day, he called his boss and tried to explain. The guy didn't give a shit and told you're fired anyway. My best friend's a piece of shit. Don't know fucking idiot. I don't know why I always end up hanging out with him. He's a great fucking prick. Makes a pride and ignorance, but he's always there to save me from getting my ass kicked. One night we showed up to the party. He screamed the cops are here. Everybody took off running while we stole a keg of beer. It wasn't long till we got back to his place, where we sat drinking his living room was the end of the day. My best friend's a piece of shit. Don't know fucking idiot. I don't know why I always end up hanging out with him. He's a great fucking prick. Makes a pride and ignorance, but he's always there to save me from getting my ass kicked through default and location. And sometimes how we meet. The people influence us and make us do good and bad
that was My Friend is a Piece of Shit by CC Potato. And you guys, man, I swear to fucking God, whenever I have you bands on, I always have some really clever song titles, man. So what's up with that song title, dude?
Well, it's really just about growing up and having asshole friends when you're a kid. And then when you become an adult, those same friends are still assholes, and they are usually responsible for getting involved in stuff that you're not should get involved in. And I have to speak for our singer here, but I mean, those are premise of that song kind of based on events that happened to him when he was a kid. He had a friend that asked a friend to punch him in the nose so that he could call into work and say he'd broken his nose, and the guy didn't care and just told him not to come in to work. So they're loosely based on things that actually happened. And the second verse was actually about a party when they were like teenagers, and the cops got called and they stole all the beer and then kept the beer in their house and drank it.
So he basically had his nose broken for no reason then, huh?
Exactly. It was just like, it's like a harebrained idea you have when you're 15. You're like, go up to your buddy, and you're like, I don't want to go to work tomorrow. Hey, punch me in the face. So, and then like, I'll call in to work. And the guy was like, I don't care that your nose is broke. Don't bother coming in.
You could have just used a sick day, man. That's fucking awesome. All right, well, we kind of covered what punk rock means to you guys, what you think punk rock is. So, this podcast, it's all about mixing politics and punk rock. And, I like to ask, do you guys think, does punk rock mix with politics?
I would say, yeah. I would say, like anything anyone does in life, they're going to have views and they're going to have morals. They're going to have, ideals for people in the punk rock community writing music. It's just their morals and their emotions and whatever is going to flood over into what they create. So I would say, yeah.
I would agree. I think that if you look back historically, I think like the surgence of punk being created and the resurgence of it always, came at a time when people were feeling oppressed, or like something huge that was happening in the world when punk formed its voice, and then when it came back again, or the popularity of punk comes back like when George Bush was in office. So I think that there's definitely a direct correlation between the two.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely a spot for politics and punk rock. It means freedom and saying what you really mean. You don't get that in a lot of other music genres. If you look at any other genre of music, there's not a whole lot of political lyrics. You find the most in punk rock. And that's because in punk rock, people are being honest and saying exactly what they mean.
Yeah, most definitely. I think when punk first started, I think we all realized it was more about the music, but it slowly did move into the political arena. And I think it's been that way ever since. It is a way of taking a message and getting it out to the people. I still go back to the movements of the 80s and 90s, the political messages and changing culture. Punk rock had a lot to do with that. And so I don't think you can really separate the two.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree, man. And that's the best thing about punk, I think, and punk music and the shows is it's kind of open for everyone. And even if, you have different political views, you get to go up there and sing about it and write your lyrics, and we all get to push our ideas. And my goal, is to come together and bring us all together, and we could talk about it, and then we can go and jump in the mosh pit. So thanks everyone for coming on, man, and doing this. It's fucking awesome. But let's get to speaking.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, dude, of course. And before we keep going with this this all-star episode of Punk Rock and Politics, let's get to one more song. And here's by another band that's going to be playing on the May 4th show at the Doll Hut. Here's Bored by Generic Response.
Whoa!
And that was Bored by Generic Response. So, speaking of Trump or punk rock and all this, and I heard Jacob, I believe, he said that, during the Bush era, punk kind of had a resurgence with Bush and everything. And you definitely saw that with NoFX and the Rock Against Bush concert. And then you go even further back with, Reagan Youth, and basically Reagan was really there's a big anti-punk movement against Reagan. So I used to ask this question a lot when I first started up the podcast, but I kind of pissed a lot of people off, but fuck it. I'm going to bring it back. So has Trump made punk rock great again?
I don't know. Has he made anything great again?
No. I think this will be a great platform, though, for punk rockers to make punk rock great again. This is a great platform for people to speak out, and there's a lot to speak out about. So he could actually make this easier for the punk rock community to take a stance on what's right and wrong, and our moral compass, as he mentioned earlier. He's making it obvious to do the right thing. So delivering it to us on a platter, all we gotta do is just take it and run with it, maybe. I don't know.
It's all about opinions here, man. Personal opinions. That's what I love to hear. Anyone else?
I think he's just giving everyone on a daily basis things to write about, Shit, you can make the raddest, funniest song if you just wrote a song and used his tweets as lyrics.
I was just thinking that when you said that. Wouldn't that be fucking hilarious? Wow.
It'd be
sputtering sentence fragments.
It'd be the most comedic song around,
It really would be. It'd be the greatest song ever.
Platform to write more songs like My Best Friend's Piece of Shit.
It's just what it is, There's nothing we can do. He's in office. It's just going to be the greatest lesson that this country has learned, and we'll see what happens when time comes around. But I know within the White House and all that, it's going to open people's eyes up, and hopefully for the better. But his tweets would be the raddest song.
It would. Yeah, I agree. So now I'm expecting one of you guys, one of the songs, one of these bands. I have 4 of you guys on here, so I have 4 fucking bands. I expect one of you guys to make this song with Trump tweets. It's got to happen now. It's got to happen.
Clark, that's you, bud.
Yeah, that's up my alley, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, that would work really well with the Whining Pussies. They have Facebook as an asshole. You could have Trump's tweets are an idiot or something.
Trump's a dick. You just gotta go straight for the jugular. Go right for it.
Steve is from Jersey, and don't they have a Trump hotel there or something like that?
Yeah, we're all Trumped out in Jersey. There's many hotels. But if we did write a song, he would say it was the greatest song ever because it's about.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. He would love it, and you're not taking anything out of context. You're just throwing his tweets down. It would be, I love that idea, guys.
It would be great publicity for anybody for him to tweet about it and be like, I hate this song, or these guys have no talent.
Yeah. And the craziest thing is he actually might tweet about it too. That's the craziest thing,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the punker out of this crowd. I'll just quote what Johnny Rotten said about Trump. He is probably the most anti-establishment president we've had ever, and so he is. He definitely acts punk. He defends a lot of people. He's sticking his finger at the establishment. So I would ask a lot of my punk friends just to kick back a little bit, see through the smoke. And me, I'm not a big Trump supporter, but he is. He definitely is pissing a lot of people off, and I think that is kind of punk. And I think, like I said, even Johnny Rotten made this point in an interview. He's for the working class, and he is trying to, and in his very flawed way, trying to drain the swamp, if you will, who have such a grip on our lives. And so I ain't taking sides here, but I do appreciate his fact that he is sticking his finger at a lot of people and making them very nervous.
I think Ron has a really good point. Whether you agree with him or not, he definitely is changing everything.
I definitely can agree with that, but then if we're talking like a political stance, I believe what we really need to do is vote all these fuckers out and just completely clean house every aspect of the democracy or politics, and we need fresh people in there. So what we do have is the same fuckers making the same mistakes, making the same bad choices, which is where we're at now.
And he's draining the swamp and filling it with different sewage, really. You know, it's just not like he's pissing off bad people and putting bad people in place of other bad people. So if we really want to really, drain the swamp, we really have to vote in, people that aren't City National Bank. And
I agree 100%. And what frustrates me is how all these parties have in common. They go to Washington, they get stinking, okay, and they leave Washington with nice 401k plans, and the rest of America is struggling. And so it can be very difficult.
Yeah, I think totally.
A lot of people don't really know this, but these guys senators make that their salary for life.
Yeah,
yes.
And no one else in America gets to vote in gets voted in their job for 4 years, and whenever they quit, they make that same amount of money for life. So like people that are laws for us and making decisions for our health and education, and it's like, of course it's going to be a swamp if you can make that for the rest of your life,
Yeah, it definitely, how Washington is set up, it breeds corruption, whether it's on the left or the right. And it's crazy because Congress has an 11%, 12% approval rating, if it's that high, but they have a 80-90% re-election rating, which is mind-blowing, which I think it was Brian, you were saying, we need to just get everyone out and elect new people in. And I think a lot of Trump supporters, that was their mind state with voting Trump. But like Jacob was saying, he kind of drained the swamp and refilled the swamp with more swamp.
and what they need is term limits, because these people can be in office for 30 years, making the same mistakes for 30 years. And we need term limits, get them in, get them out.
Yeah. And I think no matter what political spectrum, where you fall on the political spectrum, I think that's a really realistic and common sense idea, because people go in there and look at Nancy Pelosi, she's worth millions of dollars, but her salary isn't that much. So you kind of wonder, how do these people end up making so much money when they're just getting, their salary isn't that much?
There was already a big, huge investigation on that. They get basically insider trading. So they know when a medical product comes out, some kind of new medicine, they've already made the investments into that particular stock. It's basically legalized insider trading. They pad 401ks, and they leave Washington with a lot of money, and it's perfectly legal.
Yeah, because a lot of times, like Ronnie was saying, their husband or wife, they might be able to tip them off and get the money. So let's do one more song, because this is punk rock and politics. We got to throw it all in there. And this is a perfect song to segue out of there. And I think this is how a lot of Americans kind of feel. That's I Hate the Government by 390.
My money's gone and my honey, she's now
And that was I Hate the Government by 390. And all right, guys, we put this all-star cast here together on this episode is because we're doing a show on May 4th at the Doll Hut in Anaheim, California. So everyone, give the listeners a little expectation of what should they expect at this show. Like, what are you guys, you're going to bring it. I know you guys are going to bring it, but you got to convince the listeners, you know?
Oh, I just think it's going to be a really good show. There's a lot of good bands on there, and Generic Response is lucky enough to be asked to play it, which is really awesome. So I respect all the bands that are playing, and I think it's going to be a tight knit community. I think everyone wants to be a part of it. Plus, it's May 4th. It's Star Wars Day.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be a lot of Star Wars outfits. Personally, if anyone's going, don't go as Princess Leia. I'm already looking for my costume. But it's going to be a rad show, and there's a lot of cool bands, a lot of people that I highly respect, and it's going to be fun.
CC Potato will yell obscenities at you for 40 minutes, and it's all energy, and it's all a good time, and we always love playing with the Whining Pussys, and we're really looking forward to playing with everybody else on the bill, and everybody that's on here. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys. But yeah, man, it's a good community. The Doll Hut's rad. It's a really cool venue. And it's just a great place to hang. It's always a good time, and it's reason enough. Come support your local punk rock bands and anybody on tour.
Yes.
The Doll Hut is the center of the Orange County music scene, in my opinion. If you go to the Doll Hut, this show especially, a lot of friendly people take you under their wing. Everybody's really supportive of each other's music. Best music, local music right now, Southern California is going to be playing at the show. So come on out.
Yeah, I'll just say this. If it's anything like the last time we played with Plants and the Idiots, it's going to be pretty epic. It's going to be a pretty crazy show. I remember a few months ago, the place was packed, and there was just a good vibe and a great mosh pit. So I actually expect a bigger night here. And I guess, Michael, you're going to be there, right? You're going to be in the patio area doing your podcast?
Yeah, I'll be somewhere set up doing live interviews and talking to, the bands, getting little snippets and talking to the fans and just getting some cool recordings. And then we know another fellow podcaster, radio host, she's going to be there with the Minnie Green show. So I'm looking forward to talking to her.
Oh, Minnie Green's going to be there?
Yeah, Minnie Green's going to be there. This is an all-star show going on, guys. I mean, it's going to be great. And I'm personally really looking forward to getting in the mosh pit, dancing around for some of 390 songs. I've been listening to their fucking music for God knows like a year now. So I'm really excited to hear it live. Same with the Whining Pussys. And now I just discovered CC Potato and Generic Response. So I'm going to listen to your music a bunch before the show. So I'll be able to sing along. And that's my goal, man. As long as if I could sing along to some of the songs and dance around, I'll have a fucking great time. So yeah,
hey,
I'm stoked for this show. It's going to be awesome.
Hey, Michael?
Yeah.
We do not dance in a pit, okay? All right, just a correction.
We skank and
only if it's a two-step.
Hey, yeah. Well, okay. Well, skank it up, But yeah. Oh, geez. Ronnie called me out. Oh shit. That's punk. That's punk right there. There we go. Okay. Hey, when you see me dancing, maybe I can change your mind. And but all right, let's get to one more song because we're keeping it with we're plugging all the band's music here so you can get a good vibe of all the music that's going to be playing in all the bands. So here's one more song. Here's Believes by Whining Pussys. and that was Believes by Whining Pussys. And we do have to do one honorable mention for the Idiots, because they don't have any music that they weren't able to send over. So they're going to be playing, and I guess that's kind of like bonus, I guess, because Ronnie has told me the Idiots they live up to their name, apparently, right?
No, actually, they're actually a really, really, really good punk band. They're from Downey, and they were formerly Wrecked, but they did some changes, and now they're the Idiots. So a lot of the same members that were in Wrecked are now playing for the Idiots, and just high energy octane punk rock. And they're gonna put on a great show. I know they are.
Yeah, I'm excited to interviewing them and talking to them, because I know you said they're a handful, and I love interviewing bands that are a handful and make the interview process a little more difficult. So I'm totally looking forward to that and hearing their music for sure.
Yeah, they will not disappoint.
Cool. Yeah. One more thing I do have to say. So everyone, don't forget, all these bands, we're going to have 7 bands playing on the show. So it's May 4th at the Doll Hut. And we actually have a really cool offer. If you're hearing the podcast and if you heard about the show via the podcast, come on out, come to me, the long-haired, hippie-looking dude, and ask me for some merch. Basically, tell me that you heard about this show from the Punk Rock and Politics podcast, and I'm going to give you some merch, free swag from one of the bands. And we're also going to be doing raffles and a few giveaways for band merch. So, I mean, it's like, dude, $5 for a show, 21 plus. If you hear about it on the podcast, you're able to come out, get some free merch that basically pays for your ticket. So anyone who is in the LA area, if you heard the podcast, I don't really think there's any reason why you shouldn't come out to the show.
No,
I agree.
There's no reason.
No reason. And we're going to have Brian dress up as Princess fucking Leia. So, there's that too, right?
Yeah. I just got to find my costume. It's rough. This is off-season Halloween time.
I'm expecting Slave Girl Leia, not like a New Hope Leia, though, right?
Oh, God.
Wouldn't that be so rad? But we want people to stay, not leave.
Oh shit. Oh man, I cannot believe we pulled this interview off. We have 4 band members. Like I was saying, this is kind of like an all-star episode right here of the podcast. I'm so stoked that we actually pulled this off. We were able to get everyone on Skype together. So once again, guys, thanks so much for all coming on here and spending your time and getting on the podcast. And we're actually able to do this. Skype let us do this and everything. So thanks again, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you for having me.
390 says thank you.
Yeah, of course. Fuck yeah. But before I let everyone go, let's have everyone just give off a quick website, like just one website, the best place to find your music.
Well, for Generic Response, you just have to come to the show to get any merch as of right now or music. So just be looking on the faces of books, the fake book, and just watch for shows and that asshole Facebook. But yeah, just come to the show and just hit us up. We always have merch.
Jacob Bell from CC Potato. If you go to ccpotato.com, you can stream our album, and it has links to our YouTube and all that garbage.
For the Whining Pussys, we have all our music videos and our music on Reverb Nation. ReverbNation.com/The Whining Pussys. Everything's up there, and it's all free.
Yeah, 390. Just go to 390band.com, and you can pretty much get everything from there. We direct from everywhere, all social media. And we check out our YouTube channel, too, at 390band. We got a lot of cool interviews and videos on there as well.
Yeah, definitely. I do want to give a big shout-out again to Ronnie, and then also Kane Fontecchio. It took me like a good month to be able to pronounce his last name, so I like to say it. Kane Fontecchio from Madcap Media Productions. He's going to be there too, doing some video, but yeah, he helps Ronnie X and the band 390. They put a lot of really fucking awesome interviews together, and you guys recently talked to like a bunch of 15-year-olds who have this badass band, and it's really cool, man. That gives me hope for the future, definitely.
No, thanks. And actually, we have an interview coming up with Generic Response also. And, of course, we've interviewed the Whining Pussys a few times. Yeah. We got to get CC Potato on there as well. So if they're willing, we definitely are able.
We're willing, absolutely.
Definitely. And yeah, like I was talking to Brian and Jacob before we recorded this, we're going to have Generic Response and CC Potato back on a future episode of the podcast where we'll focus on their music and kind of have them as the featured band, you know? So I'm definitely looking forward to that, to be able to feature Generic Response and CC Potato in the future.
So yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right, and let's do one more song on the way out. One more artist who's going to be playing, who anyone who's heard the Punk Rock and Politics podcast definitely should remember this guy. He's a very interesting dude. It's Theo Hirsch, and he's going to be a handful. I don't know what to expect from him, but I'm looking forward to this guy playing. But here's his song, Pretty Dress, by Theo Hirsch.
I have a pretty dress that's wonderful. It's pretty and it's flowery and florally. It makes me feel a tad bit girly. I love my dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress. I love my dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress. My pretty dress. I have a pretty dress that's really wonderful. I love to wear it every single day. And when I put it on, I want to finger myself, but then I realize I'm just a man. I don't care what the neighbors say. I wear my pretty dress everywhere I go. I love my pretty dress so much. It defines so much of who I am. I love my dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress. I love my dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress. My pretty dress. And I wear my pretty dress when I go to the clubs, and the girls, they all surround me, because I guess a man who wears a pretty dress is much less threatening. So call me homosexual, I really don't care, 'cause wherever I go with my pretty dress, the girls, they all love me. My pretty dress, my pretty dress. It's pink, it's flowery and pretty. I really dig my pretty dress. No matter what any of you say, my pretty dress will always be a part of me. I love my dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress. I love my dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty dress, pretty. I love my pretty dress.
Thanks for checking out Punk Rock and Politics. If you enjoyed the show and the information brought to you, please subscribe and share the podcast. It helps us here at Punk Rock and Politics, but more importantly, it helps the featured bands gain exposure. Also, if you know any bands or musicians who would like to join the political mosh pit and have their music featured on the Punk Rock and Politics podcast, please email us at punkrockandpolitics@gmail.com. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time. And rock on, political junkies.
I think all our society is run by insane people for insane objectives.
Doing a better job of talking to each other. The left hand now knows what the right hand is doing.
Look at those hands. Are they small hands? And he referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I guarantee it.